Ishmael, His Story and Legacy. Introduction. Ishmael, a figure of profound significance in Abrahamic religions, holds a unique place in the narratives of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Born to Abraham and Hagar, Sarah's handmaiden, Ishmael's life is marked by divine promises, challenging circumstances, and a lasting legacy that continues to shape religious and historical understanding. This documentary explores his journey, his role in the development of nations, and his enduring impact across diverse traditions. Birth and early life. Ishmael's birth was a consequence of Sarah's desire to fulfill God's promise of descendants to Abraham. As Sarah was barren, she offered her Egyptian handmaiden, Hagar, to Abraham to bear a child on her behalf. Hagar conceived, and her subsequent contempt for Sarah led to mistreatment and her flight into the desert. There, an angel of the Lord appeared to Hagar, instructing her to return and promising that her son would be named Ishmael, meaning God hears, because the Lord had heard her suffering. The angel also prophesied that Ishmael would be a wild donkey of a man. His hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him. Abraham was 86 years old when Ishmael was born. Inheritance and covenant. At the age of 13, Ishmael, along with all other males in Abraham's household, was circumcised as part of the covenant with God. A year later, Abraham's wife Sarah, at 90 years old, miraculously gave birth to Isaac. During the celebration of Isaac's weaning, Sarah observed Ishmael mocking, or playing with, Isaac, leading her to demand that Abraham expel Hagar and Ishmael. Though distressed, Abraham complied after God assured him that a great nation would also descend from Ishmael, as he was Abraham's son, but the covenant would be established through Isaac. Hagar and Ishmael were sent into the wilderness of Beersheba. When their water ran out, an angel of God again intervened, showing Hagar a well and reiterating the promise that Ishmael would become a great nation. Ishmael grew up in the wilderness of Paran, becoming an archer, and his mother found him a wife from Egypt. Descendants and the Ishmaelites. Ishmael had 12 sons, who became tribal chiefs and are considered the ancestors of the Ishmaelites, also known as Hagarenes or Adnanites. These sons include Nebaioth, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema. The Kedarites, a prominent northern Arab tribe, descended from Kedar, and tradition holds that the Islamic prophet Muhammad is an ancestor of the Quraysh tribe, which traces its lineage back to Kedar. Ishmael also had a daughter, Mahalath, who married Esau, Isaac's son. Ishmael lived to be 137 years old and was buried by his sons Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael in Judaism. In Jewish tradition, Ishmael is recognized as Abraham's firstborn son, though Isaac is chosen to carry on Abraham's primary legacy. While the biblical narrative hints at Ishmael's life, much of his story is expanded upon in the Talmud and Midrash. These texts portray Ishmael as a figure who, despite his initial banishment and perceived negative actions, ultimately repented and was considered righteous. The story of Abraham visiting Ishmael and his wives, found in Jewish tradition, highlights a reconciliation between father and son, emphasizing Abraham's continued love and Ishmael's eventual good character. Ishmael in Christianity. Christian perspectives on Ishmael often align with the Old Testament narrative, recognizing him as Abraham's son through Hagar. The prophecy that Ishmael would be a wild ass of a man, and that his hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him, is frequently cited, with some interpretations linking this to the historical emergence and warlike characteristics of his descendants. While Isaac is seen as the son of the covenant, through whom God's promises to Abraham were primarily fulfilled, Ishmael's lineage is acknowledged as forming a great nation, as prophesied. Ishmael in Islam. In Islam, Ishmael is highly revered as a prophet and a significant patriarch. Muslims consider him, along with Abraham, to be instrumental in building the Kaaba in Mecca. He is honored for his patience and wisdom. Islamic tradition often views Ishmael as the son of promise, and many Arab tribes, including the Quraysh from which Prophet Muhammad descended, trace their ancestry back to Ishmael. The narrative of Abraham's visits to Ishmael and his wives is also present in Islamic tradition, further emphasizing the bond between father and son. Legacy and historical impact. Ishmael's legacy is profound and far-reaching, primarily through his descendants, the Ishmaelites, who are widely considered the ancestors of many Arabian peoples. His story serves as a foundational narrative for understanding the historical and religious connections between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
The prophecies concerning his numerous descendants and their characteristics have been interpreted as being fulfilled through the centuries, influencing the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. His narrative underscores themes of divine promise, human struggle, and the complex relationships between families and nations. Conclusion. Ishmael's life, from his birth in challenging circumstances to his role as a patriarch of numerous tribes, is a testament to his enduring significance. Across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, he is recognized as a pivotal figure in the lineage of Abraham, whose story continues to resonate with deep religious and historical meaning. His legacy is not merely one of ancestry, but also of faith, resilience, and an intricate tapestry of human and divine interaction.